Hi, I'm Isaac, I'm the creator of the Resolve controller. In this video we'll go through some of the different steps to start up the drivetrain for the very first time, specifically to make sure that the high voltage relays do not become damaged. In addition to that, we'll also go through some of the more complicated wiring. To start off, you have to uncover all the wires by removing tape and plastic protections. Then cut the wiring loom in half. Just make sure that the wires are long enough. We started by connecting the wires from the PDM to the regular charge port. The white wire goes to the white wire on the port and the brown to the green. You have to connect the port to be able to start the drivetrain. This is what it looks like connected. This is the connector to the BMS. It's the only connector outside the wiring loom that is needed. So then we connected the low voltage wires from the inverter to the motor. These wires come connected in the original wiring loom, however they are EMS shielded, so make sure to connect this wire to ground. Be careful when wiring, connecting the components wrong could result in damage. We double checked all our connections before we connected the 12 volt battery. Here you can see all the connections we have made. We use screw terminals to connect all the wires, but of course in the final installation we will solder the wires together. We did not connect the gear buttons, pedal and other smaller components because they are not necessary for this type of startup. However, we did connect the 12 volt ignition input to a switch to be able to turn on the car. So now I'll go through how to test the high voltage relays to make sure that they are properly connected. However, since we haven't opened our battery pack yet, I will go through this on another set of identical Nissan Leaf relays. First, make sure that you have either disconnected the battery from the rest of the components or that you have disconnected the battery from the relay pre-charge circuit. If you're disconnecting the battery from the pre-charge circuit, it's not enough to just disconnect the safety plug, since there is a fuse connected in parallel with the plug. When you have done that, you can start up the Resolve controller. The screen won't turn on, but you should hear one of the high voltage relays. Then you can measure with a multimeter to see that one of the relays and the pre-charge relay has turned on. One of the relays should have 0 resistance over it and the other should have about 60 ohms resistance from the pre-charge resistor. If that's the case, you have connected your pre-charge correctly and can continue starting the car with the high voltage connected. When starting with the high voltage connected, it will sound something like this. 2 loud clicks, the first one where one of the relays in the pre-charge circuit turns on, and then when the second relay turns on and the pre-charge turns off. The screen will also turn on when the second relay has turned on, as you can see here. I hope this shed some light on how to connect the Leaf drivetrain to the Resolve controller. If you have any questions, just comment down below or send us an email.